Hello YouTubers, my name is Ash. Welcome to Ash Yogi TV. I'm here today with Judy Fraser, spiritual psychotherapist, and today we're doing one of our chats again, and today we're going to talk around the subject of her latest blog, which is around the subject of harvest time and the equinox. Is that right, Judy?
Absolutely.
Okay, welcome. Let me just pull it up and see what you've written. Harvest time and the autumn equinox. How light is your heart? Light and good, move in one direction, the desolated in another. So it is a choice whether to sink or to rise. We're being asking to get off the fence, make decisions and form opinions as to how to proceed with the merging of heaven and earth as we know it, and choose what to create as we write our future. Do we focus on problems that stimulate fear, or do we neutralize old polarity and proceed with trust, even when we are not sure what we are doing? Don't feed the fear, feed love instead. This enables us to view new potential so we can be the change that we want to see. As the autumn equinox occurs, we can assess the harvest both internally and externally, so endings and beginnings can happen. Well, that's the first paragraph. I think when I read the whole thing, it seems so befitting to me, certainly what I've been experiencing around my, prolonged recovery from this relationship breakup and a big ending, really, and a big death. And potentially not just the ending of that relationship, but something in me, a change in me that was occurring, a letting go of the old me. Or part of me. It's kind of good to know that this is not just unique to me. This is a happening thing. And what is the equinox? I mean, what is it? Something to do with the planets, or is it just time? Or
well, it's the quarter of the year.
Okay.
So you've got spring and autumn balance each other, or should. So what starts in spring potentially changes in autumn. And then you've got Christmas and Midsummer Day. So that makes the cross. So we are now 3/4 of the way around the year. And if you think of harvesting, farmers harvesting, excuse me, they crop whatever they've sown, then they let the ground lie fallow and plant it for the next year. It's a completion of sorts. It's a celebration because the harvest is safely gathered in, but it's also a time of new work. So it's really important that you don't sort of try and take last year's crop onto next year, because it's a whole different ballgame. Oh, excuse me. And what so many people do is they carry the old over into the new. Well, that's not the idea. The new is the new.
Right.
And you can choose how to feel about it. So if you're going to carry all last year's misery with you, then you'll become a gnarled old man very quickly.
But no, we can't do that. No. I will say it's been quite a struggle. It has been quite a struggle letting go, and it's come in waves, etc., etc. But at the same time, I'm really now beginning to feel what you're saying in your latest blog. I'm beginning to look at new projects. I'm beginning to go, well, where do I put my creative energy? What is the potential? Because I no longer have this, dare I say, old thing that I'm focusing on and pouring endless energy into. I don't have to do that. That's not my responsibility anymore.
No, what's a waste of time? You know, what's finished is finished.
Yeah. And And so I am feeling glimmers of hope and go, oh yeah, I could try this, I could try that one. What about this one? How would that work? Da, 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 da. So yeah, that even though it's been painful and all this letting go, but now it is exactly that, looking at new projects. Yeah, for sure. No, so yeah, great. We are used to following the head or the heart, and sometimes they seem to conflict as the rational, logical, and structured paths that are familiar to us appear, and yet it may be our choice to trust the intuition and creative energy, which is more unknown as yet. We can feel demotivated, sluggish, until the head and the heart decide to move in one direction rather than seemingly quarreling of who should dominate. Only when we find the courage to follow our intuition do we disconnect from the past and move into the magic that is our future. Yes, please. We could do with the magic of our future. Yes.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
you know, why not look forward? Why look back all the time?
Yeah.
Heavy weight to carry.
It's for me, it's such a habit to look into the past always. Looking
And
back.
that is the conflict, is that we are creatures of habit. So we do what we've always done.
Yeah.
Well, why? How boring is that?
Yeah. So I guess it takes a little bit of discipline then, a little bit of discipline to just move our focus.
Well, you have to kind of ask yourself, am I operating from past and habits? Or am I looking actively for the new? Am I lightening my life?
Yeah.
In all senses.
Yeah.
It's more fun to be in the light and having a laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. And I think you also talk at some point in the blog. You talk about a decluttering space.
Yeah, that's such a good exercise. You know, if you don't know what to do, excuse me, I've got a problem in my throat today.
It's all right.
If you don't know what to do, start clearing something out.
Right.
Wardrobe, kitchen drawer, office, cellar, attic. Use it or lose it.
Right. Yeah.
What you're not using, you don't need.
Yeah, and that gets you into action, doesn't it?
Mm.
Especially that period of, like you just said, like, you know, the struggle between the head and the heart and the intuition and okay, where are we going, what we are. So you don't quite know what to do. So instead of just being paralysis, then we'll just declutter then, make space. Yeah, and that gets you moving.
Yeah, and it's also symbolic. Like, I want my life current, where it is now, not where it used to be or where it might be going, but where it is now.
Yeah.
And when you do it physically, it begins to have an impact on your consciousness.
Okay, yeah.
And on your brain. So it's like, I'm ready to welcome the new.
Got you. So that taking action has an effect on
Absolutely.
consciousness. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Serve the self will serve all. We need to talk to trusted friends for all our sakes so that we catch up with ourselves. When we do so, we begin to feel better about ourselves and find inner peace as our problems find a perspective and set new intentions, even if we are unsure how they may manifest as yet. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you may have seen on my Facebook page, I had men at brunch, and I've started hanging out with a couple of guys that I've known for a few years now, and we just talk about all this stuff, and we talk about our good bits and our painful bits, and we just share. And okay, we look at ideas, and we give each other feedback of. So I might say, oh well, I don't feel so strong in that area. And they might completely disagree with me and say, well, that's not the impression we get. This is what we see, da, 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 da. And that's so great to get that.
You need friends who will tell you their truth.
Yeah.
Even if it's not to your liking.
Right, yeah.
Because our view of ourselves is obviously very favourable. And if we've got real friends who will say, no, I just don't see it like that at all, and then tell you how they see it, it gives you perspective.
Yeah. And I think in these times, really, really important to have that. And I also feel it's less of a personal journey as it is a bit more of a group journey, a bit more sort of we're working together rather than just on our own. Although there's the introspection, but still it's really important to have a group of friends, I think.
Well, again, it lightens everything up because real friends who are really honest with you, you nearly always land up laughing. You can't help it.
Yeah.
And that's important. Even in serious things, that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, I think I can afford to get off my case because I've not got a very good view of it anyway.
Yeah. You also say here, get what help you need, whether that is a chat, time to meditate, a massage, or whatever resonates and brings clarity. It may appear we are diving into deep water and facing things that have been hidden in our deep unconscious. Better to face the fear or potential pain as it liberates us long term. Focus forward and get back on track. It will boost our energy. Self-doubts, mental blockages, and self-imposed limitations stop us from leaving the past behind and concentrating on planting next season's seeds. The only way to overcome fear and anxiety is to go for it and to trust that both the invisible worlds and the earth have our back. Over the last couple of weeks, it has been becoming more apparent that in order to remain harmonious, calm, and peaceful, we now need to completely surrender to the ebb and flow of life. Life is forcing us to fully detach and let go and allow the river of life to sweep us along, fully trusting we are safe and supported. Yeah, gotta say, felt a lot of anxiety around letting go. Oh, am I supported here? What's going on? So does it come in?
If you think of being in a river, if you cling on to the bank, you're going to get very tired very quickly. Because you're literally trying to hold yourself where you were, rather than just allowing the support of the river to sweep you along.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it, but your shoulders tense, your neck tenses, and you're sort of fighting for grim death. Why? And again, it's the same thing. The heaven and the earth are on the same side. They don't necessarily move at the same speed, but they are on the same side. Just like our brain and our heart. But unless we let them flow, they won't. They'll have a punch up.
Yeah.
And that doesn't do anyone any good.
Yeah. Okay. Been quite a struggle.
Well, it is, because we're such creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in control. I know what to do. I've done it before.
Yeah.
That was in those times, not in these times. So get with the program.
Yeah, a different program.
They really are a different program. That would be like a farmer trying to crop last season's seedings.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
This is the time to take stock of where our projects are so that you know where to focus our energy for the rest of the year. During the harvest time, we are able to see what projects are ready for the harvest and what still needs to ripen, and which of our projects were unable to take root and grow. Despite instant communications, things are seeming to take much longer to come to fruition. Don't be frustrated if you are not where you want to be. Life has a funny way of bringing to us exactly what we need when we need it. We just need to trust that everything is happening perfectly. Time to tune out the negative and concentrate on that which inspires. That sounds really, really refreshing to hear. Because
Yeah, well, again, you know, your breakfast club with your friends,
yeah,
you can sort of play around with it. You know, you don't have to come to any great conclusion. You can just play around with it. And that's fun.
yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to do that? You know, why do you want to have a post-mortem every time you meet?
No, no, no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I must admit, we were in a pub and we were surrounded by other men who were drinking at 10 a.m. in the morning, several pints, and we were having poached eggs and avocado, and the kitchen staff were going, "Who is ordering this stuff?" So we are setting the trend.
There you go.
Harvest needs to include balancing the busyness with that which nurtures plus a few treats. To do so enables us to count our blessings and be able to be part of the good things happening around us. It's an invitation to life to put us in the way of more magic. Yes, please. Declutter the year, whether that happens in the form of people or possessions, and clean the space to enable the new magic to enter in. Yes, up until the harvest, we have to be busy. Now it is the time to slow down, to avoid burnout, and to replenish that which is exhausted. Time to take time out and to soothe fear and calm stress, and to see and feel nature in all its forms, human, animal, vegetable, and mineral. Be open to beauty. Well, that sounds great.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like doing something different. My granddaughter's just been here from Spain for a week. I have never been into so many shops in years. Like the rest of us, she's very tall and she can't get trousers long enough for her in Spain. She can't get shoes big enough. We have literally done the area. Now, it isn't necessarily how I would consciously choose to spend a day, but doing it with her was great fun.
Right.
And something I don't normally do. So it kind of, again, it opens you to a channel that's not familiar to you. And although I wouldn't choose to go on doing it, it was great.
Yeah.
It was a week of fun.
Yeah.
Would you like to go for a walk? Would you like to go to a movie? What would you like to do? I'd like to shop. Okay.
Yeah. Brilliant. And we finish off here with suggested self-check. 1, are you willing to let go and get any help you may need? That's something I kind of realized I'm great at wanting to dive in and give help, but very slow to ask for it, and also very slow to even justify that I need it. Like, I'll give myself excuses. No, I don't need it. Later, because I'm so busy giving. So yeah, definitely something.
Well, it's an avoidance of life.
Right.
You've got to be able to do both.
Okay.
If you give, you've got to be able to take. Otherwise, how do you have a point of reference?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's definitely something I'm looking at right now, and how to implement that as well. Have you the courage to let go and allow yourself to be led? Oh, well, Mr. In Control here, that's allow myself to be led. Yeah, a little bit of trouble there. I like to think I'm being led, but
Yeah, well, say yes. When people suggest things, say yes.
Say yes. More yeses.
More yeses.
More yeses. Okay.
Because if you're in control, it's one short step to becoming a raving dictator.
Oh dear, we don't need another one of them. Yeah. Can you view this autumn equinox as the gap between chapters that enables new intentions to come to the fore? Yeah, I think even naturally I began to think like that. It's like, rather than just see the ending of something as the great big death and that's it and it'll never happen again. No, it's just the in-between phase before the next journey, the next relationship, the next bit of work, the next something, whatever that's going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we get it completely out of proportion and think whatever it is we've experienced, particularly if it's not been to our liking, is it. Well, it's not. It's just a chapter. It's not a book.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a book. As you begin to understand the next steps, can you communicate these to others once they are clear to you? Yeah, so getting ready to communicate, getting clarity and communicating, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But until you know what you're doing yourself, you can't explain it well enough to anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. So take the time to allow that to bubble up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, do you trust yourself to take the next step, knowing that the essence of whatever is past lives in the heart anyway? Right. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's like people who go away for one night taking a trunk.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's fascinating if you spend time in airports watching what baggage people arrive with, because it's a good indicator of where they're at themselves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, it's control, isn't it? I must take everything I might need.
Yeah.
Oh, a tin opener is essential.
Well, I have to laugh at myself when I went to India. I mean, I used 2 change of clothing, and the rest was never even, looked at. I didn't need it because it was different there. I just did not need it, and I didn't need half my studio with me either. So it was just. I think I paid people to carry my bag more times, but at least that was something. But just wasn't needed.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah. And I even had a very friendly cow decided to befriend one of my extra bags. Yeah, so that was an experience. But anyway, I think that's great. Thanks for that, Judy. It's been great running through the blog, your latest blog, with you. What's your website address again?
What's my website address? Judy at Judy Fraser.
Judy at judyfraser.com. Yeah.
.com.
Yeah. YouTubers, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, any thoughts, any feedback, please contact me at mrashyogi@gmail.com. Please visit Ash Yogi London on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and for more free videos and more free chats. And once again, yes, thank you, Judy, for this chat.
A pleasure, Ash. It's always nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Until the next time. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.